Hey everyone, hope everybody had a great weekend and a good Father's Day. Thanks for joining me today. And as always, we are not financial advisors, and everything you see on here is for educational purposes only. I'm going to be bringing back the free Monday updates. I'll make them pretty short. I'm not going to give out all the good stuff, but just so people can see an insight of what we do or how we do things. So going back to BTC, yesterday we talked about we hit a strong reversal fib, so we should drop back down tomorrow, which we have dropped down nicely. It's a decent drop, not like something crazy. If we can have something like this, it would be better. But the alts have felt it. Like everybody else has actually dropped pretty nice. Everybody's like in the 8%, 5%, 6, 7, 12, 7. So it's a good amount, right? If we look at all the alts, for this in the last 2 weeks almost, it's been a nice little curve down. Except for Rose. Rose has actually held pretty well, but H bar, we know how far down it has to come back down. Subi this last week, Subi's under $1, so that's a really great deal. This is why it's paid off. It's paid off, and it pays off to be patient. I know, like the market turns a little bullish, everybody starts, feeling that FOMO, and everybody wants to jump back into all these coins. It's like, you know what? We've been patient, and these coins are definitely a whole lot cheaper, right? C or say, I think I heard somebody on YouTube was like calling it, so I don't know how that's pronounced, but XRP is holding pretty well. It's kind of just going sideways. Ocean had a nice drop right there. Same thing with GTR. Zeta, it's dropped nicely within the last 2 weeks. Oops, the wrong one. Looking for this. Right, it's about 40% cheaper now. Vera, Pi. Pi's finally into our little zone. Took a while, but damn, imagine you were buying this during the hype. Remember, this was really hyped up, and we talked about, like, because of this right here, we had to come back down to this, right? And we did, and it kind of went sideways, and now we dumped even more down to our little area here. You know what I mean? And you're talking about, like, you're down 60% now. Like, if you were following the hype, I mean, unless you bought a little lower and stuff like that, like over here. But if all the people who bought at the high, this is why you gotta be careful. Our poor little Shiba dropping down, Doge dropping down, Jupiter. Now the one that really matters, ALZ, well, not ALZ, but Solana is the one I want to look at. But ALZ is pretty good. Dropped a good amount. This is another one that, like, I was telling people, like, it can drop all the way back down to this zone here. Get rid of that little, why it has purple on there. Back here I talked about, hey, you might want to sell it. It went up a little bit after I said sell, but this happens all the time, right? I always say sell. It goes up a little bit and then completely tanks. So technically we bought, let's say somewhere, we'll aim high here. Right? You got like 30%. It's kind of like with Shiba, right? Like, hey, we sold at the very top and we talked about, hey, there's a good chance it can bounce back up. You can get it now. You can get like 40% more Shiba. Dollars pushing up a little bit. Oh yeah, Solana. Well, this is the one that, like, that'll give us a clue, like, okay, cool, maybe we should buy back now or not. So once it hits 116, right? Remember, we came down, we went up, we came back down, we almost touched it, but then we went back up again. And now we're slowly coming back down. But this is the one that once we hit the 116, and I can kind of go back in and be like, all right, let's analyze it. Where are we at here? Are we here in this green zone that we see coming next, or do we come back down? Because remember, they have that open target down here. And even with, remember, BTC, I talked about, like, here being a top. It went up a little bit more. Now we're like kind of even. So now we should technically come all the way back down to the bottom side. But it's a little early to tell. Again, first we need to get below this green zone here, and we need to come back down. So right now we know we're not on any reversal fib now, so there's nothing hinting, hey, we're gonna push back up tomorrow. The day's still pretty early, so a lot can happen, but the odds of it going all the way back up and breaking above that fib, pretty low. So we should close around here. And if anything, if we close where we're at now, that shows us we're dropping back down more tomorrow. What we don't want is for it to drop more and then, like, touch a reversal fib and then it comes back up again tomorrow. Gives us delays. But at this rate, if we come back down to the green zone, these alts are really going to have a nice drop. If we come down to the bottom side, though, then some of these, these targets that I had a while back where they're like super low would make sense because it's like, all right, you know what? They're actually going to come back down to these crazy prices again. But we'll see. We don't want to jump too far into conclusion because, again, we talked about I am due for a miss. So those really low targets, like, I don't want to like really pay attention to them, but they're there just in case to let us know, like, hey, there's a chance it can go to this level. Let's see, but that's pretty much it for today. We're dropping back down nicely today. We do expect us to come back down to this green zone, and then we'll see where the alts are by then.